think, you know, there's how do you think that we go beyond notions of overt and covert prejudices, or just appreciation of diversity, which I know that we're both concerned with that in our teaching and in the discourse?
But as a teacher educator, since for me as a white person, probably I think a lot of what I learned that was central to me rethinking things that I had taken for granted growing up, I learned through engagement with African American adults in the community who at the time when I was in Seattle were personal friends. And this was over a period of years. Where it was both a re-education, being around people, talking with people, and then going off and doing some reading to try to find out more about this stuff that they were talking about that I didn't understand. And so in working with pre-service teachers, well, for one thing, I do think it's problematic having the majority of people who are teaching continue to be white. I think that makes a teaching force that tends to bring white ways of looking at the world. It kind of institutionalizes that as the dominant perspective within the teaching force, and I think that's a problem. But in working with teacher education students, one of the things that I did for several years was to set up, work with community agencies and set up community-based field experiences in which my idea was that everybody needs to learn how to learn in somebody else's community. And the only times I made exceptions to that were sometimes when I had students of color who themselves didn't really know their own community very well, and like an American Indian student who wanted to work with American Indian issues. But then they would have a field experience in which I would work with them on just a whole various strategies. I mean, you know, as much as you could do in one semester of learning to learn in the community, learning to interact with adults who are from a different racial ethnic background, and if possible, even talk with them about race, which for, you know, a lot of white people is scary. We don't do that. But I think that at least helps. I don't know to what extent. I mean, I never did the follow-up research to find out to what extent that actually launched people on a trajectory of ongoing learning, because I didn't intend it to be this one-time experience. You do it one semester, check it off, and you're done. I occasionally get notes back from people who have been my former students saying that they learned a whole lot, but you know, I don't know. But that kind of work, in conjunction with work on developing curriculum and developing pedagogy, and I think can help get people, help at least problematize the simplistic notions that people come in with.